We have that benefit with these natural seed products. Okay, now just to underscore that a bit, here's an article published in 2010, comes out of Harvard, and they basically are saying that if you want to interfere with inflammation, that's the new strategy to block breast cancer, self-renewal, and progression. Self-renewal and progression is a way of saying metastases. Ladies and gentlemen, if people you know and love have cancer, they need to be taking Sol to help their body create enough anti-inflammatory process to shut down the metastases. Here's an interesting piece on infertility. I'm going to show you different examples of how inflammation can hurt you. Women suffering from asthma, another inflammatory process, are more likely to have difficulty becoming pregnant because there's inadequate circulation to the womb based on inflammatory problems. Very interesting little piece there. How about asthma again? 10% of American children now, and 235 million people worldwide are suffering from asthma. Asthma is a very easy disease to treat. You fix the food to get the anti-inflammatory foods in the diet and the pro-inflammatory foods out of the diet, and then a product like Sol can shut down the symptoms of asthma very quickly. Now, Alzheimer's. All of us are paying attention to Alzheimer's, of course. Alzheimer's is an inflammatory disease. If you know people who are suffering from memory disorders or are on their way to Alzheimer's, you need to be giving them some Sol. What we know is that anti-inflammatory approaches that may not cure Alzheimer's disease will likely help slow the progression or the development of this devastating disorder. Diabetes and obesity, there's a new term, diabesity. They're really related. It's an autoimmune inflammatory disorder, and inflammation may be the single most important mechanism driving this diabetic obesity epidemic. I'm talking about the U.S. diet. That really is the weapon of mass destruction. The SAD diet, the standard American diet, I don't have to go into detail on this. These make sense to you if you're paying attention to Sol. You avoid your white sugar, your refined carbohydrates, your trans fatty acids, high fructose corn syrup, genetically modified plants, dairy, which is typically polluted with antibiotics, and a lot of hormones, including bovine growth hormone. I just want to remind you, the cows that are being milked today are not the same as the cows that are being milked 40, 50, 60 years ago. The cows that are being milked today are being converted into little micro factories, and the product is not healthy. And remember, fast food leads to poor digestion and obesity. So in contrast, here's what you have when you have Sol. I received this document, 8 to 10 servings of fruit and 8 to 10 servings of vegetables, and the 2 to 3 servings of healthy oils in each of these 2-ounce packets. But I'm betting that it's pretty close. And I know people who have actually gone on a Sol fast, eating nothing but 5 or 6 packets of Sol a day, and lost considerable weight in a healthy way because they're well nourished. So maybe it's only going to be 6 servings of fruit. But the fact of the matter is, the seed itself is a concentrated reserve of nutrition. The plant puts all its eggs in one basket, and it calls it a seed. The seeds are 20-fold more nutritious than the rest of the plant. It's the treasure chest, and I would eat seeds before I eat anything else because the seeds are where the most nutrition is. But what happens when we eat cantaloupe or when we eat watermelon is we typically spit out the seeds. We spit out the apple seed because the plant is smart enough to put all of its nutrients in the seed with the hope that the hard husk and the bitter taste will inhibit breaking the husk and digesting the seed. So what Sol has done is they've taken that bitter, hard-to-digest nutrient treasure chest, and they've crushed it up, and they've added some D-ribose, which is a safe 5-carbon sugar, and they have made that a delicious way to drink what is otherwise a very bitter, hard-to-digest food. So those husks in the seed of Sol, you want those husks. Let's talk about Mad in America, a very good book which talks about how we're going crazy in this country. We're violent, we're aggressive, we're short-tempered, we're depressed in America because we're eating low-fat foods. The brain is 60% fat, and you need to feed your brain with healthy oils, not trans fatty acids. Trans fatty acids in the 1940s, Dr. Kuzmaier said they cause cancer definitively. It's been shown that these trans fatty acids, which are the majority of oil eaten in America, that these increase all these chronic inflammatory diseases. Trans fats are artificial, are highly inflammatory. No more McDonald's French fries. Make sure you're eating good oils. If you eat good oils, you will excrete out your bad oils. This is what we call the physiologic oil change. You treat your car pretty well, you change that oil, change your own oil. If you eat the healthy oils, you'll clean up the skin, but here's the warning. You can have a transient experience of some headaches because as those bad oils come out of storage, if you're not well hydrated, drinking plenty of water, those hormones and pesticides and other toxins and heavy metals which we have quarantined in our fat cells, that's where we put the junk. Remember I said in the beginning, the seeds are where the pesticides are concentrated, so that's why you have to be eating organic seeds. But we store that junk in the fat cells, and so it's time to get those out. You can have a little bit of transient headache. Don't worry about that. That's not a bad side effect of the eating of the good oil. It's just a cleaning of house. Very important. Now, I mentioned that the seed research is the most important and exciting research in food science today. And I have to tell you, there are a variety of research centers around America which are devoted exclusively to seeds. We just know the tip of the iceberg at this point. But here are some studies on blueberry seeds and boysenberry seeds, etc. So be watching for seed nutrition in the news because, as I said, it's the treasure chest of the plant. It's really an embryo. It's a time capsule. It's protected by the bitter shells. The shell itself is a condensation of nutrient-dense polymannose. That's the molecule. And the seed is on a mission to reproduce itself, so it's quite persistent and resilient. As I said, the purpose of digestion is to break these seeds down so that the seed oils can transfer their own genetic material, the mRNA, the messenger RNA and the DNA, into your cells to help regenerate your cells. Because the RNA, the ribonucleic acid, that sends messages to your cell's DNA. Cancer is a destruction of your cell's DNA. That's how it works. So the seed nutrition can help reinforce your DNA, optimizing function. And where is DNA concentrated in food and plants? Ladies and gentlemen, it's in the seed. Now, here's a little piece of regeneration, which I thought was interesting. This is a 91-year-old fellow. After 3 months on Sol, after 25 years of being proud of his white hair, quite distinguished gentleman, we see the hair coming in black. Seed nutrition can do this, but seeds are hard to digest, and Sol is a very easily digested feast of seeds. So I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, this gentleman, not only is his hair regenerating to black, but the rest of his organ systems are regenerating as well. This is what you and I would call an anti-aging remedy. Nothing fancy, just the seeds. As I said, we're taught not to put all our eggs in one basket, but that's what Mother Nature does. She calls it a seed. The seed husk, as I mentioned, is a condensed polymannose which enhances absorption, but also it amplifies a very interesting cell, the CD14. You could call this the conductor in the symphony of the stem cell orchestra. If you want your stem cells to work well, CD14 is the conductor, and CD14 is in the seed husk. So a lot of people say to me, is this seed drink, this Sol, just going to suppress my pain, suppress my symptom, or is it going to help regenerate? And I think what we're doing, because of the CD14 component of the cells, we're actually sending into the sore joint not only an architect and a general contractor, but also the skilled craftsman. They're actually repairing the joint. That's pretty exciting. So again, if you can eat the seed and if you can eat the seed husk, you're going to get this CD14 cell. The supplement industry is rife with fraud. It is rarely the case that what you see on the bottle of the nutritional supplement, the label, is actually what's contained inside the bottle. I want to tell you the 4 criteria that we have used for 20 years to make sure we have good integrity with our nutritional supplement recommendation. The first thing, of course, is this an intelligent formulation? Do the ingredients work well together? And the answer in Sol is that it's fabulous. It's tremendously wise. We also look at the integrity of sourcing. was quality maintained from the harvest to the processing plant, because you can pick a fruit someplace in Borneo which is full of magic juices, but if it is transported for 48 days to the manufacturing facility, you can lose a lot of quality, of course. And in this case, what's special about seeds? They don't degenerate. We found them in the tombs of pharaohs. They can still be planted and grow rice or whatever they were. So you don't lose the integrity of the seed nutrition from harvest to manufacturing. Let's talk about the integrity of the processing. What I'm pleased with the Rain Company is that they do this very quickly and they retain the nutritional process, crush seeds in a vacuumed package like this. So it's a quick process. They don't let it hang around and dry and oxidize. It's a quickly packaged product which retains its value. I'm going to show you how the ingredients in Sol are synergistic and that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.